right, so another impressive performance. That's 3 in a row. Kind of talk us through your night.
Well, the difference between this fight and my previous 2 ones was a lot to do with my mental attitude towards it. I used more kind of anger and fury to fuel myself up for the last 2 ones, because I felt like in my early fights I was way too relaxed, because in my natural state I'm very like calm and collected person, so I couldn't really light that fire that I needed to perform. And I kind of found that through mental training in my last 2 fights that got me the win. But I felt also like it took a lot of energy out of me during the whole week having that mindset. So I think now I've learned to perform in the same high level, but without the emotions attached to it, which saves me a lot of energy. Because tonight I felt so relaxed. I was just in the now. I could read everything he did, and I could like breathe and relax in between every position. And I felt so like strong and powerful whenever I did something. So like all the pieces came together.
So you mentioned your preparations throughout the week. Obviously, it's a unique climate with COVID. Yeah. Tell us how your week went.
Well, it was not that exciting. A lot of time in the room, but like I try to read and get my mind on other things. And I was looking a lot of fight videos, obviously, to get myself in that right mindset. And came here and trained at the arena whenever possible. So it was honestly a good time for reflection and game planning. I always try to make the best out of every situation. I don't attach any feelings to it, good or bad. Like, it is what it is.
Jay Anderson.
Thanks very much. And Oliver, congratulations on the win. I know you said post-fight MMA is kind of a personal journey for you and you don't pay too close attention to the division, but do you think realistically you are a fair bit closer to a title shot now than you have been?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 3 first-round finishes by TKO and submission. That speaks for itself. So if I don't know if there's a ranking, I don't follow it really, but I mean, I always want to climb the ladder, so to speak, and get harder and harder challenges, because that's the way I'm looking at it.
Another one for me. You know, you had fans back in the building tonight. It's a historic night. Just overall, the atmosphere and everything tonight. How was this experience for you?
At first, I thought it would be very weird having not that much audience. I thought the whole country was going to go in lockdown, but I already had that experience almost in my Bellator debut, because I was the swing bout, so it got moved until after the main event, which meant there was like no audience left. It was after midnight I had to fight, so I was kind of expecting that to be the case tonight, but hearing the audience cheer when I walked in, that was amazing, and I'm glad they got to view this first historic event of MMA here. So just a very cool feeling, and this arena is amazing.
Donna?
Talk to me about, I know you mentioned during the week, first off, congratulations on the victory, but you mentioned during the week you've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai in your room while you were quarantining. Did that inspire the walkout song choice?
Yes, it did. So I have this karate background. I'm born and raised in a family. My both parents did karate, and we run a karate dojo. My brother has a very big YouTube community. They call themselves Karate Nerds. And it's like hundreds of thousands. So I always try to like represent that old school traditional side, because it's in my roots. So it's also a fun gimmick. And I've been watching the Netflix series Cobra Kai all the weekend. I just watched the last episode yesterday before the fight now. So it was perfect timing. And I just felt, I have to walk out to this song. So
maybe now you're 10-2, you're 3-0 in the promotion with Bellator. Maybe it's time to change that nickname, maybe to something karate related from the future. I think the future is kind of a dead nickname at this point, right?
Yes, I've been saying that for years. I wasn't the one who chose that nickname. I got it like 6 years ago, and I feel more like the present than the future. And I never put my nickname when I register for these events or anything, but it still shows up there, the future. So I don't know. Just call me Oliver Enkamp. That's fine for me, or the Karate Kid, whatever.
Last one from me. Did you kind of relish the role of being the villain tonight, being the heel? Because obviously you were against the hometown guy, the first hometown guy to grace that arena. And of course the fans they weren't so much against you, but they were very much on his side.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my thing is, I'm always cheering for the good guys. You know, I want to be a good role model and ambassador for the sport. So now it was fun, like, because I'm coming in on enemy territory, like from their point of view, fighting their home guy. So I thought the whole thing with Cobra Kai was pretty fun as well, because he's like a bad guy in the Karate Kid series. So I guess it all came together perfectly at the end.
Santiago.
Oliver, congratulations on a beautiful performance. That's 3-0 now with Bellator, 3 finishes within the first round. Are you maybe looking for a main event fight next? I mean, you are clearly a finisher. Your last 3 opponents didn't even last 1 round with you in the cage. And you have a lot of these welterweight fights in the main event. Michael Page later on. Paul Daly was supposed to fight Derek Anderson. Do you think something like that is going to fit you?
Absolutely. So what I'm hoping for is that Bellator lands in Sweden next, and I get to main event that. Because it's been rumored for some time now, and I think if it hadn't been for the COVID situation, maybe they would already have gone there. And in my hometown, Stockholm, there's been a lot of big global MMA events, so there's plenty of good venues, and the fans are familiar with the sport. So for me, that would be the optimal next step.
And the last thing for me, I couldn't really see it that clearly, but was your brother Jesse in your corner? I mean, shout out to the Karate Nerd. His YouTube page is so entertaining with all the karate videos. And you and him make a really good team, man.
Thank you, sir. Yes, he is always with me and making a video log about the fight week and such. And after the event, we go home and we break down the fight for all the viewers. And I kind of let him know my game plan and what I thought, what went through my head in the fight. So he's always with me. And the other guy was Tim, who is one of my longtime training partners. He was also the coach for this fight.
Andrew.
Congratulations on the win, Oliver. Just expanding upon that whole thing you said about the martial arts being a personal journey for you, and also sounded like as well you want to put on a performance for the audience. I think you said that as well. Just tell us, I'm curious to know what that philosophy, when you developed that philosophy, is that something recent, or have you always had that philosophy of kind of you before competition, performance before competition? Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there's 2 sides of that coin. First and foremost, I've never been a competitive person. So people find that hard to believe because I'm in a very competitive sport. But honestly, like even since I was a kid, I never wanted to compete against anyone but myself. I always want to improve whatever I'm doing, but I don't like competition because it makes conflict somehow. So say I was in a gang of my friends and we're playing video games. If I started to win too much, I would let the other guy win so we didn't create a bad environment. And that's always been my attitude. So I prefer to spread love than win against someone. And the other side of that coin is me growing up in a traditional karate dojo, which is not only about the physical training, but also the correct character development. So it's a lot about teaching respect, discipline, humility, and bringing your karate outside the dojo to make the world a better place, and like growing as a person and not only as an athlete. And I've been in the dojo since I was like 4 years old. So it's deeply ingrained in my upbringing, and something I think is a great thing to spread through the world and through my platform, which is MMA.
We have time for one more question. Lenny March.
How's it going, Oliver? And congratulations on an impressive performance. Yeah, again, 3 fights, 3 first-round finishes, and he came out really quick. You know, it seemed like the fans kind of fueled him, and he came out really fast. Did you kind of expect him to start fast today?
Um, I was expecting everything. So last night we came here to the arena to do some training, and this is something I always do. I come to watch the whole event unfold in front of my eyes, so I'm visually prepared for what's going to happen. And we kind of simulate the fight, and my training partner puts his gear on and runs towards me with different kind of attacks, or backs away, or shoots in for a double leg, or making me expect anything that can happen, because I don't know what's going on in my opponent's head. So I can't expect anything, because then I might fall into a trap. So I was just making sure I was first out in the middle of the cage, and then whatever happens, happens.
Thank you very much for the time, Oliver. Congratulations.